Well, the next time you try to make a long-distance telephone call from a hotel phone or a payphone, be careful.
You may end up paying up to 10 times more for the call than you normally would. And our consumer reporter, B.B. Immerman, is here to explain why.
Don and Monica, this is rather interesting. It's a relatively new phenomenon called Alternative Operator Services, or AOS for short. They're sort of middlemen that provide long-distance hookups for hospitals, airports, hotels, even college dormitories. The result, they make money, you lose it. Harvey Cross of Lawrenceville does a lot of traveling. As a general sales manager of a large company, he's always on the road and always on the phone. And because of that, he says, he keeps a careful eye on his long-distance bills.
I noticed some phone calls that were billed to me from the September prior from a company I'd never heard of.
After doing a little checking, Cross found that the company, National Telephone Services Incorporated, was intercepting calls he thought were being placed through AT&T.
I punched 0, the phone number, and then punched in my AT&T credit card. Nothing different. I was not aware I was using another service until I got the bill.
And a check of the bill reveals some hefty charges. This 1-minute call to Memphis, for example, cost $1.85, almost twice what AT&T would have charged. This 4-minute call to Miami cost more than twice the AT&T rate. And the 7-minute call to Puerto Rico was more than 250% more.
Difference of 253% increase on what AT&T charges is definitely a gouge. What else would you call it?
But is it legal? Absolutely. David Douglas is a telecommunications expert with the firm of JTM Associates here in Atlanta.
They came about as a result of divestiture, the deregulation of the phone company, and the breakup of AT&T. But when this happened, AT&T took with it its operators. So a niche was created to provide those carriers operator services, and that's how it all came about. There are no laws against it occurring. It is a needed service for those people. And it just sprang up overnight.
So who uses these AOSs? Hotels, hospitals, airports, any place where people are making lots of long-distance calls. And why are they used? To make money.
There never were any commissions paid to anyone for credit card type calls, 0 traffic. And now there is.
And those commissions can really add up. Here at Hartsfield Airport, for example, Bell System payphones were recently replaced with payphones that look like Bell phones, but which are actually hooked up to an AOS. Officials at Dobbs Pascal, the company that handles concessions for the airport, declined to reveal how much money they've made from the new phones, except to say it's more than we made from Bell and AT&T. At the same time, however, airport officials acknowledge there have been complaints.
We're still getting the complaints. Most of them now come about either because of the higher rates charged or usually they're billing questions, charges for uncompleted calls, for example.
Does the consumer get anything at all out of this?
No.
In fact, the problems have become so bad that at least 3 states, Alabama, North Carolina, and Kentucky, have banned AOSs altogether. Plus, a number of other states have passed tough restrictions on their operation, including placing a ceiling on charges and requiring AOSs to identify themselves to consumers. Here in Georgia, restrictions are being considered, but so far, nothing has been formalized. But in the meantime, how can you tell whether the phone in your hotel room or the payphone in the airport is hooked up to an alternative operator service? And how can you avoid those excessive charges? First and foremost, be aware. Read the card on a payphone. If it says service is being handled by a company you've probably never heard of before, chances are good it's an AOS. To bypass the AOS, you can try dialing 10288 for an AT&T line, or you can access AllNet, MCI, or US Sprint by local or toll-free call. Just check with your individual carrier. In hotels, you can often ask the hotel operator to connect you with an AT&T line, but if they don't want to do that, you may have to find a phone outside of the hotel to make your calls. Now, over the past year, the Federal Communications Commission has received more than 1,100 complaints about AOSs. Because of that very large number, the Commission is now considering whether it needs to step in and regulate AOS rates and business practices more stringently. A decision on that is expected within the next few months. Just beware.
All right. Thank you, B.B.